Hi.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, my name is Nikki and this is my book nook. Y'all, today we're doing a book review. I don't have the physical book with me because I read it on my Kindle, so we're kind of flying solo. I'm gonna be talking with my hands a lot. It's gonna be a little different and probably a little uncomfortable for me, but it's fine. We'll push through it. We are talking about Twisted Love by Anna Huang. Oh my goodness. Several of y'all had come in my DMs, came into my comments telling me that I should read this book. And I just have to say, y'all were not nearly aggressive enough with me because, okay, I also must give you credit because you were right. 110%, this book was right up my alley, but I cannot believe y'all did not pound it into my brain that I needed to read this so much sooner because seriously, it just reminds me of so many books that I've read in this last year that like I love so much. Like it's such a specific type of book and type of writing, and it's just absolutely immediately yes. I just want to talk about it with you guys today. I'm not going to give away any spoilers. As always, if I love a book, I want you to go read it. But yes, let's just get into it. Already don't know what to do with my hands. This should be fun. So yes. Twisted Love. This story follows a girl named Ava and a guy named Alex. Alex is Ava's older brother's best friend. Already caught your interest, I know. Ava and Alex have not ever really gotten along too much. In all honesty, it's really like a grumpy sunshine sort of situation. Ava is a young girl, she's in college, she's in a photography program, and she sees the good in everyone, and especially Alex like wants to be friendly with him, wants to get along with him, has known him for many years because he's been friends with her brother. But Alex is just on a whole nother level. He is only like 26, but at the age of literally like 14, he developed this crazy software that he then sold for a ton of money. He's literally like the CEO of some company now that has connections all over the world. Like he is almost in a way like mafia man level status, but not quite exactly. Just level of badass, super genius, Tony Stark-esque in a way. Complete opposites, but he just doesn't have time for Ava, doesn't have time to give her attention, doesn't have time to give much of anyone attention. Besides Ava's brother Alex, he really doesn't have any other friends in the world. But yes, at the start of this story, we learn that Ava's brother Josh, who is Alex's best friend, is in medical school, and he is going to be leaving to go to Central America for a year to volunteer to do medical work. And before he goes, he basically pulls Alex aside, and we see this because it is a dual point of view story, which we love. And he pretty much asks Alex if he will just watch over Ava while he's gone, like look after her, make sure nothing crazy happens to her. Ava has a really great group of friends, but Josh just feels like she's a little bit too trusting. She's not good at, okay. She's not very cautious. She tends to just go along and see the good in people. Also, Ava just recently went through a breakup, and her ex-boyfriend has been a little bit crazy and has been trying to get in contact with her, won't leave her alone, so that's kind of concerning. So he just wants Alex to kind of be there for her in his absence. And at first, Alex is really not about it, but he's kind of started to feel this new way about Ava lately. It's that age-old brother's best friend trope deal where, you know, he just has always seen her as a little kid and his friend's little sister, but lately, you know, she's seeming a little grown up and a little more like a woman, and he feels this protectiveness over her because she is like a little sister to him, but also it's like become a little bit more than that. Like he feels ownership of her in more ways than one, even though it drives him insane. So he ends up suggesting to Josh that it's best that he's as close to her as possible. So Josh and Ava, actually, funny enough, basically live together. It's not the exact same apartment, but they literally are right next door to each other, like share a wall. So Alex decides that he's going to move in to Josh's apartment while Josh is away so that he can be extra close to Ava and look out for her. And when Ava finds this out, she is shocked because she's like, I'm a grown woman. you don't need to babysit me, look after me. But of course, she also can't be super mad that this super attractive man is going to be next door to her all the time. It's a bit of a conflicting feeling all around. But yes, from there, this entire story is just a whole bunch of tension, a whole bunch of angst. We got some forced proximity. We've got some, you know, relationship building, bond growing. There's a lot more to this story than simply just that. Both Alex and Ava have some traumatic things that have happened in their past. Alex especially, he has something that happened in his past that has really shaped who he is today and still affects him today. Something that he still is in the process of recovering from and sort of getting his retribution for. I won't go too far into that because I want you to just read it and figure it out for yourself. But yes, he has that, and then Ava has some horrible things in her childhood as well, so that's something that they kind of, you know, can open up to each other about over time. There's just a whole lot to it. I really liked it. It was so easy to read and just so hard to put down once I got into it. It reminded me so much of the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas, which I've talked about on this channel so much. If you guys haven't read that, you don't know what I'm talking about, but for those of you that did read it, I'm gonna go on a little rant about it for like 30 seconds. Alex was literally like every Devil's Night series guy combined into one. Like, my immediate reaction reading him, he reminded me so much of Damon just because of like his family situation, family dynamics, just kind of the way he was in general just reminded me of Damon. But as I got to know him more, like, I saw some Michael in him, with him having all of these like connections and almost even having like a level of fame like Michael and the Chris family have. He reminded me so much of Kai, because just like Kai, he's also into like fighting and like goes to this dojo sort of place, and just that element came into it all, and the protective nature with the, you know, the sibling sort of situation, and a lot of situations reminded me so much of Will. Will's my favorite Devil's Night boy, but just his relationship with Ava, the things he says to her, the little moments they have, like, in a lot of ways, and also just kind of like the brokenness and just the darkness within Will. It just reminded me so much like of Alex, and it just, I'm telling you, in conclusion, if you loved the Devil's Night series, I promise you would love this book, and I am so excited to continue this series. The next book, it's just like Devil's Night series in the way that each book kind of focuses on a different couple, but it is kind of a little bit of like an overarching story, and the next book sounds so freaking good and so interesting. So for sure, continuing on with this series. I know the third book just came out as well, and that one, I could already tell just as I was starting this book, I could already tell like, okay, these certain people are for sure gonna have their own book in this, and that book is about those people, and I'm so pumped for it. But yeah, basically go read this book. It wasn't like a 5-star, the greatest thing I've ever read in my entire life, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It very much, it was spicy. It gave me some of those like proper good Wattpad vibes, but like classier and written a lot better. It's the stuff we eat up. I know you guys will love it. Yeah, I think that is it for me today. If you guys have read Twisted Love, I would love to hear your thoughts about it down below. If you've read the other books in the series, don't spoil anything for me, but just let me know generally if you love them or not, which one's your favorite. Definitely going to be continuing probably very soon, because I can't stop thinking about the next book, and a lot of people have just said it's like 10 times better than the first one, which means it's going to be real good. But yeah, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!